Hi everyone, and welcome to my first Let's Play video ever. So being my first Let's Play, I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm just gonna give it a try and see how it goes. So please feel free to comment on what you think and what I can do to improve. You'll see I'm selecting normal difficulty here. I'll get to that in a little bit. So this is Child of Light, published by Ubisoft. And I'll start by mentioning that I am playing the physical PS Vita cartridge version of this game, and I'm playing it on a PlayStation TV using a PS4 controller.
Child, tuck yourself in bed and let me tell a story of Lemuria, a long-lost kingdom, and a girl born for glory. In Austria was a crown land ruled by a duke. Aurora was his daughter, child of a duchess mysterious, beloved by her father. He raised the girl alone. They were rarely apart, till the duke felt lonely and misplaced his heart. It was the Great Friday before Easter 1895. Players performed for the Duke, his new bride at his side. That night, Aurora went to sleep. The fire burned down low. She caught a chill that spread. Her skin was cold as snow. At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out. Her father wept and pleaded, but there could be no doubt. For all intents and purposes, Aurora was dead. And yet, once upon a time, she awoke in a strange land instead.
One thing I will do is try to keep the commentary down to a minimum and let you enjoy watching the game. So I've seen lots of Let's Play videos where people feel the need to talk constantly, and that's just not my thing, and it's not what I like watching, it's not what I enjoy doing, and I also won't read all the dialogue to you. I will assume everyone watching knows how to read, and I'll let you do it for yourself. And there is a lot of reading in this game. Most of it reads like a fairy tale, with lots of rhyming words. Sometimes the dialogue can feel a little forced, but I found if you just let yourself get into it and pretend you're reading a fairy tale, it can be really enjoyable. Alright, on to Chapter 1. So this game is broken out into chapters. I believe there are 10 chapters, if I remember correctly. Whoa, sorry about that. Pushed the wrong button there. That's where I was trying to go. So the menu screen here shows you everyone in your party and all their stats and skills. We'll get into that a little bit later. So this might be a good time to try to explain why I chose this game to do my first Let's Play. So first of all, I'm a huge fan of the PS Vita. I really am. I love this system so much. And I'm not a fan at all of digital distribution of games. I want to own all of my games in physical form. And this game was released digitally on many platforms, but as far as I know, the PS Vita is the only platform that received a physical release of this game. So that's why I chose to play the physical PS Vita cartridge of this game. And I'm playing it on a PlayStation TV just so that I'm able to record the video. And since I'm not using the actual Vita hardware for this, I'm using a PS4 controller. This may make some of the controls in the game a little harder. I'll see when I get to them. That's also the reason why I pressed the wrong button when I was trying to go into the menu screen. I'm not used to using a PS4 controller to play Vita games. I also like that this is a fairly short game. I think that makes for a good first Let's Play. This is one of those things that's a lot easier to do on an actual Vita, because to collect these wishes you can just swipe your finger across the screen. It's a little bit harder to do with the PS4 controller. You have to use the right analog stick. So now we come to the first puzzle in this game. You have to take these symbols and kind of move them over their corresponding image. Finally, you get a weapon. And of course, what good would a weapon be without a monster to fight? So I really enjoy the battle system in this game. If you've ever played a Grandia game, which is another series that I love that series, the battle system in this game is kind of like a simplified version of the Grandia battle system. And I'll talk about it a little more in future battles. So if you're able to encounter an enemy from behind without them seeing you, you'll do a surprise attack, which puts you at an advantage. I wasn't able to do that with this enemy, so you just start normally. And that works in reverse too. If an enemy comes up from behind you, they do what's known as an ambush attack, and they get to attack first. It's also worth noting that every time you level up, you replenish all of your hit points and magic points. So if you're close to leveling up and you're low on magic points or something, it doesn't make sense to use a potion, because once you level up, you'll regain all your points. So as you level up, you gain these skill points that you can use to unlock new skills for your characters. And it's presented in this kind of skill tree screen you see here, where you have to unlock skills in order. So you gotta kind of look ahead to see what skills you really want, so you know what order to get them in. So getting into the battle system a little bit more, it's split into two sections. You've got wait and cast. So, oh, that was a quick fight. Okay. Maybe I'll explain it on the next fight. So wait is obviously when the character is waiting to do something. Once you get to the cast section is when you select, right here, where you select what you're going to do. And what's cool, well, I killed this enemy, but if I hadn't, if you hit an enemy while they're in the casting phase, you cancel their attack and they go back quite a bit in the wait column. It makes for some good strategy, trying to figure out which enemies to attack in order to cancel their attacks out. And at the same time trying to avoid being attacked while you're in the casting phase, because the same thing will happen if an enemy hits you while you're casting, then your move gets cancelled and you get knocked back some. One cool thing I like to do a lot is you can take this firefly and shine it at an enemy, and that makes them go slower. And you can use that to try to force them into the casting phase right as you're going to hit them. So you've probably figured out by now that this is not my first time playing through this game. This is actually my second playthrough. I played it on my Vita about 1.5 years ago, but I've forgotten a lot of the puzzles, so it's almost like a first playthrough. It's my first time playing it on my PlayStation TV using the PS4 controller, if that means anything. So that's it for Chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed my first Let's Play video. Let me know what you thought of it, and I'll see you in Chapter 2.